Okay. Good morning or good evening,
No,
everyone.
pero espérate.
Okay.
¿Cómo vamos a empezar?
Um, Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm really excited to share an interview that I'm going to have with a special person that I want all of you to meet. Here we have to Dr. Germán Salazar, who is a pathologist that works in the National Hospital. Throughout all of his career, he has shown a deep passion and understanding from some diseases, and especially their core and how they can affect people. Right from the smallest cells that we can see under a microscope. So his dedication to helping patients through some diagnosis, and I think they are truly reflect how essential pathology and medicine is in our lives. So thank you for joining me today. I prepared some questions for you, and the first one is about your career principally. What would you say that is the thing that has inspired you to become a pathologist?
Well, hi Carmen. Thank you for all your words about me. Well, about your first question, I think that something that inspired me to become a pathologist was the time when I was a student, and I noticed how diseases are diagnosed by observing such small cells of the human body under a microscope, and how this is so important for the patient to receive treatment.
You're right. Like along this course, I think I really understand. I really understood how everything and even the smallest cells can affect us. So, can you tell me about what do you usually do in your job, like daily routine, for example?
I work in a national hospital and I oversee diagnosis biopsies of 6 patients. First, I make macroscopic descriptions of the biopsies where we take measurements and characteristics of the lesion. Then, after a 1 day process in a tissue processor, slides are obtained to view by the microscopes some characteristics of cells and tissues, and finally get a diagnostic report.
That's interesting. And which one would you say are the most important skills for being a doctor, especially on your field first, and like the most important skills to be a pathologist?
In my opinion, the important skills for being a good doctor are a broad knowledge of diseases, analytical and problem-solving abilities, and finally, empathy for people who are suffering. And to be a good pathologist, I think the same skills are needed, but I would also add to have a good eye.
I think you're right. It requires a lot of experience to finally develop a good eye, and I think I really hope someday I could finally have it. About the recent changes that might happen these days in your field, how would you say is technology changing the way you and maybe your coworkers do your jobs daily?
Mm, Nowadays, we have slide scanners that digitize tissues, allowing us to diagnose from a tablet without needing a microscope. We also have AI programs that help us to detect cellular changes more quickly. These things were unthinkable a few years ago. I think in the short term, we will obtain better diagnosis.
I agree. And have you noticed recent changes due to technology in your field? Maybe just as a doctor or also as a pathologist?
Yes, I have.
And can you
Okay. Yes,
tell?
yes, I have. Now we have better tissues observation techniques, better microscopes also, and faster tissue scanners. We also have better tissue processors that allow us to process tissues in less time and with better quality.
Mhm. Thank you for telling us. And how is AI currently being used in medical or professional practice?
Oh, as I told you, the arrival of AI has changed the field of pathology. For example, we have programs that can detect cancer much faster than a person, but for the moment, they are still supervised by a pathologist.
Okay. I actually haven't heard about it. And what do you do to keep learning and updating your skills in your job?
Mm, to stay up to date, I frequently review the latest papers from scientific groups published in journals like Surgical Pathology. I'm also always active on social media with mentor pathologists from the United States or Europe. Finally, I have digital book subscriptions. It's
That's
important.
nice. I actually heard a lot about some, well, for example, for students, we also still, we are more likely to pay, for example, for osmosis webs, and that is a site from
Mhm.
Elsevier, and some others that can help you to review more than learning is like to review and to prepare for quizzes. And now let's
Yeah.
talk about the future. If you can think like there is no limits, and they ask you something that you think or that you imagine could be an innovative discovery or maybe a creation that in the future could potentially help you a lot in your field, what would it be?
Well, letting my imagination run wild, I believe that in the future there will be AI programs that will perform diagnosis using advanced algorithms and based on the knowledge we have. Perhaps the future role of doctors in general will be as a kind of supervisor of the work of these programs.
Yeah, future sounds like that. And finally, what advice would you give to young professionals that are just starting in your area?
Good question. One advice I would give to young pathologists or medical students is to keep in mind that a diagnosis is a serious matter and requires us to be up to date with the latest medical knowledge. Finally, I always advise them to do what they love and feel passionate about pathology.
Thank you, Doctor. I really want to show you like all the appreciation and how thankful I am for you accepting this interview. I really enjoy sharing and listening to your experience, your insights, and also the advice you gave for future doctors like me. I think your words remind us how important it is to stay passionate and up to date at the same levels in order to be a good doctor and to work in a medical field. So thank you for your time and your inspiration.
Thank you, Carmen.